Alright, so welcome back. So this is my 96 Camaro turbocharged. As you can see, give you guys a little bit of information on the build, help out whoever might need some help. First and foremost, my intercooler is right there, right here. Easy plumbing goes into the turbo from right there. And over here comes out the other side, goes straight into it's my blow-off valve. Then we got a coupler going straight to the total body. Line for the blow-off valve goes straight to the air block right here. So does the one for the wastegate, which is pretty much down here, the wastegate. And the wastegate also gets vacuum from the boost controller right here. That's how you control boost. I also added a fuel pressure gauge right here. It's good to know what your fuel pressure is. And don't mind the airplane passing above. Alright. So down here is all the oil fittings. I'm gonna try and get onto the vehicle to show you guys. Catch can is right here. This one is nice. You got a measuring stick. There's nothing on it, so maybe there's something in the bottom, but can't see right now. Okay, the way that is plumbed up, we have a fitting on her a valve cover right here, tapped, and then we have another line coming from the other side of the valve body, which is down there. You can't really see it, but there's a hose running across, and they both meet right here, coming down and under. It goes into this side, which is the inside, the inlet, then the outlet. The way this works is, when the engine is running, there's a vacuum in this pipe right here, and that will pull vacuum through the whole catch can system and pull whatever pressure might be in the valve covers, in the valve covers, and get all the vapors into the catch can. So next we're going to talk about the oil feed line. So mine is right here, and as you can see, my turbo is not clocked, so the drain plug is pointing all the way down. It's actually clocked at an angle. The reason for this is my oil drain is pretty much right here, and it doesn't drain all the way down. It drains into the valve cover, which you can see. Hopefully I can get an angle on it, but right there, right here is where it drains into. And I've been driving this car for a couple of months now. I never had an issue with draining, or the oil getting backed up in the turbo and stuff like that. So that's another issue. A lot of guys will say, oh, it needs to be pointing all the way down. That might be true for some application, but this is not a problem with this one. Plus, I'm not the first one to do it like that either. My belt is routed kind of ridiculously because, as you can see, I don't have any AC compressor. I don't have a pulley in place of that AC compressor, so it's pretty much the alternator, the water pump, the crank, the power steering pump, and then pretty much back up to the idler pulley and back around to the AC, the alternator. That's how mine is done. Airplane again. So as you can see, everything is wrapped when it comes to turbo cars. Keeping the heat down is a major problem, and the better you do it, the better off you are. See my downpipe, 3-inch, then it goes into 2 inches, and then all the way back at the back of the car. There's no side dump. Everything goes straight to the back of the car. Also, coolant reservoirs right here. It comes all the way from this line right here, goes under and up. Yeah, there's the old coolant reservoir that was right here. Deleted that one because it just doesn't make any sense. Now, as you can see, the battery should be here. There's no battery. I have 0 gauge welding wires, and yes, it is welding wire. It's going along the side of the car on the inside and out to the back over here on this side of the fender. The battery is pretty much right here. Okay, so continuing, let's get a look at the air fuel oxygen sensor. It's right here. The wire actually runs along here, connects right here, and then goes into the car. My wiring is not pretty, that's a fact. Actually I like this this air block. You can put a bunch of different if you want to run more air holes, you can just like take one out, put a fitting in there, and then yeah, you see how it works. But this one is for, as you can see, the blow off valve. This one is for the wastegate boost controller actuator over there. And then this one is for my boost reference inside the car, which we're going to take a look at. I'll see if I can get a good look at the my actual oil syrup down here, because that was a big part of this whole turbo setup and why it actually took me 2 months to get done. There's not a good way to get a shot of this. Let's see, maybe if I go under the car. Nah, but the car is too low. Let's see if I can zoom in. Let's get a good view. Alright, so right there you can see that's actually my oil sensor for my glow shift gauge. That is actually into an adapter. There's no way to get a good picture. And below that is actually my oil sensor that came with the vehicle itself. And that itself is actually screwed into an adapter that I bought on Amazon. There's no way to get up. Oh, there we go. So this is a better angle. So as you can see, you have an adapter right here, right there, that screws into the block itself. Then you have the oil sensor, the old one, screwed into that one. Then you have it's like a T. So you have this input going into the engine block, then you have that output going to the oil sensor, then you have another output which I also added another adapter, which is what the glow shift or sensor is plugged into, and then my oil feed comes off the top of that, which is this braided wire right here. So it's a crazy setup, but as you can see, it doesn't leak and it works. That's a good angle. All right, my boost gauge is my boost control is right here. It's all the way turned down because I'm not actually properly tuned yet, but this car does get up and going. So when this is all the way turned down, I'm trying to get it. Let me zoom out. When this is all the way turned clockwise this way, it's pretty much giving me about 3 to 5 pounds of boost when I'm saying pounds, psi of boost when I really get on it. There. So we're gonna take our way into the vehicle and show you guys my setup. So from the switch, the wire runs all the way up and comes out right here, which is this red wire right here. It goes into this fuse relay box. Let me open this real quick. And as you can see, it's attached right here. It's not really soldered or anything. I just like stick it in with the relay. It's also on this side right here. That way I can turn the fan on manually from inside the vehicle. And that's a necessary, you definitely need that when you have a turbocharged car and the engine gets hot really quick. Just getting into boost for a few seconds really heats this engine up. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it on real quick. So you can hear the fan actually running right now, and the engine is not switched on. I can't really get a picture, but you can hear it. With this car, it definitely comes in handy. And as to why it's just hanging right here, I'm just lazy. It's supposed to be in one of these slots right here, but when I actually bought the car, this was wired right here, but the screw got missing, and it was actually there for an AC, kind of a bypass. It's pretty much for grounding out the AC to the relay when whatever stops working, because this is how the person that I bought the car from had it set up. So I pretty much just switched it over to work with the fans instead of the AC, because as you can tell, I don't have an AC compressor anymore. But it's gonna get moved over to one of these slots right here. So yeah, I'm just lazy right now. That's what these holes are here for. This was actually designed and 3D printed by myself. As you guys know, this thing was for like a cassette holder. Well, people don't use cassettes anymore, but that's what this was for. And it had a little space over there, but I pretty much just like cut this whole section out. Designed this thing right here, which didn't take a lot. Fitted the gauge in there, and yeah, that's how that works. Boost gauge is right here. Glow shift. Let me see if I can switch it on. It's my key. So yeah, boost gauge, oil pressure gauge, and my wideband. Alright. Also, this car, when I moved my battery into the trunk, I had issues starting this vehicle with the key. Every time I switched it on, it would just click, and then maybe 4 or 5 clicks later, it will start. So my way around that was pretty much to go and install a switch. So this switch just has 2 wires going to it. Let me see if I can lift this up real quick. So yeah, pretty much has 2 wires going to it. This green wire right here that goes out to the it goes under the vehicle and goes to the starter. How to wire that up is probably a different video. We'll have to get under the car and stuff like that. But just by pushing this button, well, the ignition will need to be on, but then you'll just push it, it will turn the starter over, and then hence start the vehicle. So this was my way around the whole clicking when I try to turn the vehicle on. My finger's in the way. I'm not used to filming. So switch it on and push the button. And I think that is due to the battery being moved to the back. I'm not 100% sure, but that's when the problem started, you know. So what else we gotta look at? As of right now, this is pretty much it. If you guys have like any questions or you want me to get into more details about certain things, then I can definitely do that. But for now, this is where I will leave you guys.